My name is Jerry Applebaum, Applebaum, 129 Valley View Drive, Rockaway. I don't have any connection with the neighborhood as I live in the White Meadow Lake section of Rockaway Township, but I'm friends with the Shoulders living at 32 Valley Road. In the spring of 2013, and I don't recall the exact date, after visiting with Mr. Shoulder, I left his house and proceeded to drive home in my Toyota RAV4, approximately 1 o'clock on a sunny day. I was headed from his house toward Lane Denmark Road and Green Pond Road. I would like to show two pictures that have already been submitted to the board that represent and illustrate what happened to me that day. There's a saying that a picture is worth 1,000 words. The first picture is picture number 9 that says, with two signs indicating that the road narrows and there's one lane ahead, and with a curve in the road. There is a bend in the road, and you cannot, from the picture you can see, you cannot see around the curve. I was driving in the vicinity of the bridge on Valley Road when I encountered one of the tractor trailers hauling salvage. When you drive in this area, you cannot see what is around the bend, as it is shown in the picture. I would describe this as a blind curve. The truck suddenly came into my view, and I would like to show you that second picture which has been submitted, which shows a truck, salvage truck, driving in the road down the middle of the lane on the double line.
Well, for the record, what picture number is that?
I don't know what number that is, but it's been submitted to the board. I think it may have been tonight even. There's a packet.
This picture here?
Yes, that picture.
Okay.
For the record, Mr. Chairman, I don't have that, but that was marked as an exhibit. I don't have the marking with me, but it does depict a Mack truck with a blue roof to the left of the double sign indicating road narrows and one lane ahead.
I was at a previous meeting when a picture of this type or this exact picture was submitted to the board. I don't have it.
Mr. Chairman,
Number.
sorry to interrupt, but just for the record, the applicant wasn't provided with a copy of these pictures, so we do not have any to refer to at this time.
Well, council indicated that these pictures were referred to earlier, probably when Mr. Szyminski was here, and he would probably have seen the picture, or pictures. They were, correct me if I'm wrong, Mr. Kids, they were produced at some point during the testimony?
Oh, yes, yeah, they were marked
Yeah.
either the last time or the time
I thought these
before
were
that.
new pictures. I didn't
No,
realize this
these were
would be
pictures
all
that
the
were
pictures.
earlier
I
presented during
apologize.
the testimonial phase of the hearing.
Understood, thank you, I apologize.
Just for the record, excuse me, to clarify the record, I believe picture 7 that has been referred to by two of the members of the public that spoke earlier has not been marked at any of the prior proceedings. That is looks like a Google map.
I think that was something that Mr. Shoulder submitted since the last
Right,
hearing. He submitted a number of pictures as
correct.
exhibits.
I just want to point out
Yeah.
that does not have an exhibit marking, so perhaps we should mark it tonight.
Well, you know what we may do to make things easier? I mean, his entire packet, which included primarily pictures, we could mark as one exhibit, unless you have some objection to that.
I have no objection.
And what do you suggest the marking should be?
P for public, P1?
Well, why don't, he submitted, Mr. Shoulder submitted it, so why don't we give it some designation with his initials or something?
WS, William Shoulder?
Yeah, I think that makes more sense.
WS1.
WS1. So for the record, the entire packet, which Mr. Shoulder even provided tonight in the folder, is going to be marked WS1.
And just for the
You
record,
understand it, Mr. Shoulder? Yes. I know you're there in the audience.
and for the record, that folder has a caption on the outside of it, which reads handout list in order found in folder. And there's a list of documents underneath that.
Right. Okay, counsel, you have no objection to that. It'll be WS1. Okay, you can
I can
continue,
continue.
Mr. Applebaum.
So again, I was driving down the road and a truck of this nature suddenly came into my view. And the picture shows exactly what I encountered. And if I proceeded to drive ahead on my side of the road, we would have struck each other and had an accident. What I did to avoid this accident was to drive off the road to my right into the woods. There is no place on the roadway itself to stop to avoid a truck this large. I would describe this encounter as being driven off the road. I was lucky that I didn't become an accident statistic. I have some comments and observations that I would like to make. Number one, tractor trailers of this length and size and carrying approximately 80,000 pounds that have been testified before to as to the weight are like battleships of the road. They cannot stop or maneuver suddenly to avoid another vehicle or a hazard in the road. In my opinion, because of the size, length, and weight of the trucks and the curve and width of Valley Road, they cannot negotiate this section of the roadway without going into the center of the road and going across the double line, thus presenting a problem and a hazard for traffic coming in the opposite direction. Number two, there has been much discussion about the signs placed on the road, such as single lane ahead and road narrows, and about if a double line is appropriate in the center of the road. Let's use some common sense. We can assume that these measures were taken with the idea of improving safety of vehicles on Valley Road. The question is, do they actually achieve that objective? The sign for single lane traffic ahead means that a driver should yield to oncoming traffic, but because of the blind curve, you can't actually see the traffic ahead. This lack of visibility is a hazard to traffic safety. Number three, the traffic expert has stated that the roadway is safe because it meets some requirements in a traffic manual or because of statistics on accidents. In my experience, this is clearly not the case. Let's not lose sight of the forest for the trees. Do not focus on small things such as signs or lines on the road. Instead, focus on the big picture of safety for vehicles and people traveling Valley Road. I believe that trucks of this size and weight are not compatible with passenger vehicles on Valley Road. This condition is just an accident waiting to happen, and it's just lucky that no one has already been injured. And number five, I would recommend that the board or its representative actually come out and observe this section of the road around the bridge and see what happens when a tractor trailer is coming in the other direction. Don't just rely on testimony or standards in a traffic manual. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, may I ask the witness one follow-up question,
Sure.
one or two, just to clarify?
Sure.
In the incident where you said you had to drive off the side of the
Yes.
road, you did indicate that it was a southern vehicle, southern truck. Do you know if it was a southern, or just you assume it was a vehicle from the southern site?
I don't know who was operating the truck.
Okay,
It was a salvage truck.
Okay,
I
that's
can
all.
say.
Thank you very much.